in the announcements, my wife and I attended our grandson's graduation last evening, and what was unique about this particular graduation, we'd seen it done once before, but with our other grandson, is that in the presentation of the diplomas, the parents actually presented the diplomas, moms and dads, to their children, but there was a screen, a video screen, large video screen, and they had a little montage of about 20, 30 seconds of the child's life. And so from baby pictures right on through, and silly pictures and graduation pictures. And it got me to thinking here, when I think about that, is that my wife and I have witnessed the life of our grandson. And, you know, to be honest, we were more interested in him than any of the other graduates there, because we'd been around to witness his life, to enjoy life with him, and just to love him because we know him. And I want to talk about the witness to our lives. When we think about a witness for our life, what would your or my life be like if there was no witness to it? Could not attest to anything. Nobody knew anything about you, what had happened in your life, and you're just out there isolated and all on your own. I think that with that, as we think about things that have happened to us, things that we have done, I think there'd be a great deal of insanity going on in our lives. Because we think, well, what was that all about? And we'd get no reflection from anyone else. Because even when we look into a mirror, what we see oftentimes changes from time to time. When we think about the people that we've been around who have witnessed our lives, this coming Tuesday, Karen will have witnessed my life for 24 years. We've been married 24 years this coming Tuesday. But she didn't witness the other 40 plus years before that. So I can tell her stories and she can connect with people, but she doesn't know the full story. My mom was there from the beginning, but she's not here now. She can't witness to what happened. And my dad died when I was 18, so he couldn't witness beyond 18. So he's not a full, credible witness for the whole entirety. And as we all know, right now we're here and our life isn't over, so we haven't witnessed all the things that will transpire. And as Karen is saying, this has been an incredible week for us, because our daughter has a home, and you think, how's that possible? A little over 3.5 weeks ago, we were with them in Mammoth. No home, nothing like that, and everything has changed. Even a new job possibility that could be absolutely incredible for her and the love of her life. And it's like, well, we've witnessed things up to this point, and we hope to live long enough to witness other things. So when we think about witness, and why would this even be important to us, and why would I talk about this in terms of church, in terms of your life, my life? Because it's very important. We live in a world where there are two witnesses: Jesus and the devil. Now, I'm going to say that they have witnessed the whole of your life, my life, and their take on our life would be a little different, and is a little different. And also, you have witnessed your life, but I'm going to suggest that you, like me, your idea and your understanding of what you saw may not be completely, totally accurate, even though you were there. So I want to go through some examples here in John because Jesus encountered this particular problem. Why did Jesus encounter this particular problem? Because he professed to be the Messiah. People didn't believe who he was and how great he was, and they didn't believe what he was doing. That may sound familiar because I think from time to time we may ask ourselves the same question. What in the world am I doing? And what have I done? And what will I do? We have those kind of questions. And, yeah, thank you, Jeanette. And why did I do that? So that's a good question. And depending on the witness, they might answer differently as to why you did what you did, or I did. So let's begin here in John chapter 8 and verse 12, because it's about the validity of Jesus' testimony. This is verse 12 of John 8. When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. The Pharisees challenged him. Here you are, appearing as your own witness, and your testimony is not valid. So again, when we speak of ourselves, there are people who are going to challenge us on these things. Jesus answered, even if I testify on my own behalf, my testimony is valid, for I know where I came from and where I am going. But you have no idea where I came from or where I'm going. You judge by human standards. I pass judgment on no one. But if I do judge, my decisions are right because I am not alone. I stand with the Father who sent me. In your own law it is written that the testimony of two men is valid. I am one who testifies for myself. My other witness is the Father who sent me. Now that's quite a valid witness, but when you haven't seen the witness, the Father, which they had not seen, it is sometimes hard to get your point across and for them to believe that. But these are the challenges that Jesus faces. That he is the light of the world, that he is a true record, that he has an additional witness, and that he has the support of the law. Now, when we think about the support of the law, in Deuteronomy chapter 17, verses 6 and 7, it talks about having to have two or three witnesses, but it also talks about accountability with that. For example, if you accuse someone of something that is worth death, you're the one who has to pick up the stone and start the whole process. It is easy sometimes to be an accuser, but to carry out the sentence takes on a different challenge. And so you want to be careful in that regard, because there is accountability to the witness that we give. And I think that's important when we think about judging and judging one another. Now, Jesus had a witness to his life. And so I want to read some of the examples of a witness to his life so that we can understand and appreciate that he wasn't the only one. But obviously, if we start with God the Father, that is, you don't get any better witness from beginning to the end, through the whole process that we see with Jesus and his life. So in Acts chapter 2 and verse 29, we find Peter talking about being a witness, where he tells us in Acts chapter 2, verse 29, brothers, I can tell you confidently that the patriarch David died and was buried, and his tomb is here to this day. But he was a prophet and knew that God had promised him an oath that he would place one of his descendants on his throne. And so we read from Hebrews chapter 1, verses 1 through 4, that in the latter days, God has spoken unto us by his Son. And we're speaking about the same thing here. Seeing what was ahead, he spoke of the resurrection of Christ, that he was not abandoned to the grave, nor did his body see decay. God has raised this Jesus to life, and we are all witnesses of the fact.
Feeling the blues today, or tired of life already? Do you have questions about life, or need spiritual advice? The Worldwide Church of God is located in Fairfield, Santa Rosa, and Modesto, California. We welcome everyone to attend our worship services with us every week at the times listed on your screen.